He's a seer with great insight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the high table, our dear father, Mr. John Okenedo, Chairman, BOT. Please put your hands together for
our senior daddy. You are welcome, sir.
I understand. Like I said, I just shot myself in the foot. In every organization or socio-cultural entity, there must be a woman. Every weapon fashioned against me shall not prosper.
At all.
Tongue that will rise up against me shall be condemned.
Yes.
You better it yourself. Don't put me into trouble. This is my mother.
Yes, sir.
My mama. In the person of our national woman leader. In the person of Mrs. Isokba. Please put your hands together for her.
Where is she?
Wagboligi. It's permitted. It was deliberately so that she can be the last always comes better. Although it was an oversight, but it was also deliberate. Mama, I know you understand. Presented by the Deputy Governor, also registered affiliate Edo State Legacy Association. We have with us Egosagram Progressive Union. We have with us Benin Noble Women Club, Edo Daughters and Wives Kwali, the Young Shagro Club, Otuo Union Abuja branch, facilitating a paper. You are expected to take a seat on the high table. As we expect his arrival, please put your hands together for him one more time. Political strategist. And then we also have in our midst the political alchemist. And we also have here the political strategist representing His Excellency Senator Monday Okobolo. Please put your hands. Deputy Governor of Edo State. His arrival is here. Please stand up.
Please let us stand up to recognize His Excellency.
His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, and the person of Mr. Omobayo Marvelous Godwin just arrived. Please put your hands together for him. It's also his arrival to the arrival of the Deputy Sorry, the Director General of the Doe House, in the person of Stephen Festus of Cycle Society. Let's take your seat. Thank you. At this point, we are fully aware of this. We are fully aware at this point, on the count of three. Let's rise up as we take the national anthem. Please, 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 we will lead from here. Sovereign motherland, our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign in peace or battle, honor, and this we count as gain. To our children, a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request, help us to build a nation where no man is with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. Please put your hands together for yourselves as you take your seat. You have done marvelously and brilliantly. At this point, we'll invite to the podium the national president, the organizer par excellence, a man with astute reputations and glaring educational prowess, who has also risen to the peak of his profession in an organization before he was saddled with this new responsibility to be the national president of the National Association of Edo State Indigen, in the person of Mr. Imokede Dotun Agbe. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the National Association of Edo State Indigen, I'm here to deliver the opening address. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to recognize the #1 citizen of Edo State, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, who is also the chief host of this program titled Leadership Recruitment Process in Nigeria, the Edo State Imperative. He is ably represented at this occasion by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, in person of Mr. Omobayo Marvelous Godwin. Please, can we give him a round of applause? The representative of the Deputy Governor is of the Governor is also an invitee of this occasion, and I also want to recognize him in person and to warmly welcome him. That is the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Mr. Omobayo Marvelous Godwin. Please, let's give him also a round of applause in his capacity. In his capacity. We specially acknowledge the grand patron of NICE, that is the National Association of Edo State Indigenes, His Royal Majesty Omo Noba Nedo Uku Polopolo, the Oba Ukwa Polopolo, Oba Ewari II, Oba of Benin. Please, can we acknowledge and recognize and give him a hand of applause? The Director General of Edo State Licensing Office, Abuja, present. Deacon Festus Osagbovo, the NICE pillar of support. Also, I want to recognize our invited guest speakers who are also have been represented by nominated personalities, which has earlier been mentioned. I want to welcome them and say you are warmly welcome. Please, let's give them a round of applause. They will be representing our guest speakers in person of Senator Monday Opehoro, the governorship candidate of the APC. Also, a representative is also here, as I'm told, to represent Olumide Akpata, Osagbovo Esquire, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party. Also, the governorship candidate of the PDP in person of Dr. Asu Idagolo. Also, Godalo, okay. Sorry for the twist of the tongue in the pronunciation. I ask for your apology on that. Of the People's Democratic Party. Also, an invited guest speaker to this occasion, who is present here with us, is Barrister Collins Aimwa. You are warmly welcome, sir. Please, let's give him a round of applause. We want to also welcome and recognize our discussants who are representative of registered political parties in Edo State, who are here this morning. Our special guest of honor, the senators and House of Representatives that were invited, their representatives, we welcome you all. I also want to recognize and welcome the chairman of NICE and the board of trustees that were earlier welcome in person of Elder John Okunedo. The moderator of this program today is here. It's in person of Dr. Tunde Lakoju, who is also a member of the board of trustees of NICE. Please, can we give him a round of applause? Distinguished executive members of NICE, who are all present here, you are all warmly welcome also. We also want to welcome the press, recognize them, and friends of Edo State invited. Ladies and gentlemen, It is my great pleasure on behalf of the National Association of Edo State Indigenes, NICE, to welcome you all to this National Merit Award House, Abuja, where the NICE leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, the Edo State Imperative, is taking place today. I am delighted to address the prestigious gathering put together by the National Association of Edo State Indigenes, an association dedicated to promoting a sense of belonging, inclusiveness, and unity among Edo State Indigenes, nationally and worldwide. The program is aimed at ensuring Edo State in particular and Nigeria addresses the concept of leadership recruitment, selection and placement in its democratic process, improving on the existing processes to enhance unity and desired development. By successfully achieving these objectives, it is therefore means a leadership recruitment program can have a transformative impact on the state and its future. Equally also, the aim is to raise the bar for leadership excellence, driving better decision-making and strategic thinking in the state. As we gather in this historic venue, we are reminded of the rich heritage and tradition of excellence that defines our great Edo State, the heartbeat of the nation. And I am confident that the discussions and networking that will take place over the next few months will further enrich our collective pursuit of progress, prosperity, and development of our people and Edo State. If you agree with me, leadership emergence is a critical criteria if well driven and achieved, we eventually foster unity of purpose that drives development in Edo State. Please, ladies and gentlemen, accept my warmest welcome as I enjoin you to let us work together to build a better future for Edo State. Thank you very much, and God bless you all and bless the nation.
Thank you, our great president. Let us give it for our president. Give him a round of applause, please. For some of us that grew up in Edo State, when our president was pronouncing the names, so these were the group that were born in Lagos. They grew up in Abuja, and they spend most of their holidays in, is it Japan? Ogami? Is it Japan or where? So you excuse him for when he was pronouncing some of our names. Then before we move to the next agenda, let us recognize our former president, Professor Sunday Itua. Prof, is he around now? The Prof, you are welcome. Then we also recognize Chief Premier Bello, one of our leading one in Abuja here. Premier Bello, are you there? Stand up and let our people recognize you. Abba, you are welcome. We also recognize one of our past vice president, Chief Nathaniel Momo. Is he around? Momo, okay, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. permit me to conservatively stand on existing protocol as ably established by Dr. Nancy Ogbemodia. I need no introduction. I'm very happy today to stand on this rostrum, and today is my birthday. It's like I'm being celebrated here. Let us give another round of applause to the prima donor, to the Mohican, to the Mukunda of National Association of Edo State Indigenes for that wonderful speech. Chief Imohede Agbi.
You see, even you cannot pronounce. Were you born in Lagos or in Abuja? You cannot even pronounce his name too.
No, I did pronounce this very well. I'm a local man.
Okay.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Anyway, that is a teaser. Of course, that is a by the way. It is my honor and privilege to now, having stand on existing protocol, I want to respectfully invite the convener, the seer, the pioneer, the dreamer, the man that saw today from yesterday. Invariably is the Omodion Kum ambassador of Edo people in Abuja. This great son of Edo State has been able to put us together. That is why we are seeing sheet of people from all walks of life making this occasion thick.
Yes.
And that is quite appreciated. Without further ado, and of course without further yo-ho, permit me at this point to usher, to respectfully usher, without fear of favor, without procrastination of time, Deacon Festus Ayudubie Osagbobo Osage, the Director General of Edo State House in Abuja, here to give us a goodwill message. Your Excellency. Wow. Oh, it's well dressed in white. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Master of Ceremony, thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellency, Engineer Marvelous Godwin Omobayo, the youngest Deputy Governor of Nigeria and the Deputy Governor of Edo State. The President of National Association of Edo State Indigene, the person of Dotun Agbi. The Chairman of the Board of Trustees and members of the Board of Trustees of NICE, ably led by Eda John Okunedo. The Vice Chairman of NICE and members of the Executive of NICE, our own brother and the guest speaker of this occasion, Barrister Collins Amwa, the representative of the PDP candidate representing Dr. Aiswan Ighodalo is Ambassador Tony Okunigene, and the representative of the APC candidate here present, representing the person of Senator Monday Okpebolo. The representative of the candidates of the Labour Party, representing Barrister Olumide Osagbovo Akpata. Your Royal Highnesses, my brothers and sisters, and ladies and gentlemen, I say good afternoon. It is a common saying to hear people say, after God, it is government. I want to say here today that it may seem common, but it is deep and it has a whole lot of meaning and impact. The meaning and impact on people. The meaning and the impact on people has no limit. It affects all, whether race or tribe, black or white, rich or poor, male or female, culture or religion. You can see the impact and meaning of government in real time. From the Nigeria experience today, we all can see the impact. We can see the meaning. In fact, the impact was immediately. We are seeing how governance has drastically changed our lives. Socially, morally, and spiritually. Nothing is spared. We have seen how parents have sold their children for food, how the young men have sold their souls for money, and the alarming syndrome of Jacobism. It is less than a year governance. Less than a year governance. This has changed the lives of Nigeria, millions of lives of Nigeria. It is therefore matters who sit on that power of government. It is very important that as people, we must have an interest. We must take a decision who sits on the seat of power. You must have interest as a Nigerian citizen. You must not look away, because the impact, it is either negatively or positively will affect every one of us. Edo State has been a sterling example of governance in this past democratic era. You can tell the positive impact of true governance from what we can see in the state. No one would appreciate a departure from this but a consolidation. Today, we are here for a serious business. The National Association for Edo State Indigenes has come a long way. I'm very delighted that it has taken the lead to champion the very core objective for which it was created, to champion a process through which the right people who will sit on the seat of governmental power that affect all are selected. Today's program is like a day you are given the opportunity to choose between life and death, poverty or prosperity, a virtual wife or a nagging wife, hunger or well-being. This is vice versa. The information we are receiving today through this 9C Symposium should form a basis of our choice in the forthcoming Edo State gubernatorial elections. So I really want everyone seated here to appreciate this great association for these giant strides in creating this symposium that will provide us with the opportunity to make wise decisions on the next governorship election in Edo State to take a decision on who govern our great state that will lead to the progress and development of our fatherland. Thank you all, and God bless you for listening.
That is not enough, ladies and gentlemen. We can do better. My friend, why are you not clapping? For those that are not clapping, that means your mind is not here. Thank you, our amiable DG, Latour Bella. It will also interest you to know that he's not only an administrator, he's a deacon. I was reliably informed that he's also a pastor. From the way he enumerated his presentation. May God continue to bless you, sir. I don't know whether I have your attention, sir. I'm in charge now. Give me your attention, sir. Without wasting time, because we are running against the moment, it is my honor and privilege to be the person standing right here to introduce, or rather invite, the youngest deputy governor in... The devil is a liar. The youngest deputy governor in the sub-Saharan region of Africa. It is not how far a man can stay on a woman's chest that matters. It is what he can do. When I was informed that His Excellency Godwin Norega will not be available for this occasion, that the deputy governor, His Excellency Godwin Omobayo, will be the one to represent him, I was highly elated. As you can see, too much energy, so much energy. A man that is ready to work 24 hours. Your Excellency, please, can you, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. Can you come to this podium, sir? You are welcome, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone here present. My name is Engineer Omobayo Marvelous. Let me start by acknowledging thanking the organizers of this very great initiative. It's a symposium, actually. By implication, it means that it's like it's a conference or a one-day meeting to collectively look at the remaining part of, because it's centered on the Edo project, and whether you like it or not, 7.5 years is gone, and there's need to finish well. But beyond finishing well, there must be a conscious attempt for us as stakeholders to x-ray what the future holds for our great Edo nation. First of all, let me thank the organizers again, in no particular order, so that we don't waste so much time here, because I know there is going to be bulk of deliberations where you have opportunities to ask salient questions that are germane to actually looking for the right type of leadership to sustain what we already have. By implication, there's no leader on earth who wants to fail. I've not seen such a leader. And if you look at the definition of a leader, you cannot define a leader without actually looking at the qualities of what entails in leadership. I think that's the best way you can define who a leader is. And the essence of our gathering today is beyond 2023, we are in 2024, beyond November 12th, what we happen to do in the next 4 years. That's the major essence why we are here.
And we have representatives from the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party, who happen to be the major players in the political sphere in Edo and Nigeria. There's no way you're going to discuss this theme, leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, then you try to narrow it down to the Edo State imperative without actually looking at the tools. When I say the tools, a system of government must be in place or is already in place. And that is how you can appreciate how you are going to recruit such a leader. Is it a military style of leadership, or is it democratic, or which type? And you know, Nigeria operates democracy today, and that is what is obtainable in Edo. And in my own way, I've been able to define democracy as not a destination, but as an app. When I say an app, deliberately Abraham Lincoln he invented that app in 1863. Of course, before the advent of democracy, there's been governance, even native style of governance in our own local arrangement. But you know, in life, things evolve. You must get new formulas to see how they can solve new problems as the day unfolds. And since 1863, it's still not yet a destination. We are still having what you call trial version. There's improvement on a daily basis. And a leader who is going to take over from the current leadership of Obaseki must be one that is bold, that is courageous, that have the requisite strength, the ability to be, you must be knowledgeable, must have a high sense of judgment, positive judgment, and a high level of integrity. And integrity, by definition, is doing the right thing when no one is watching you. Of course, that person must possess some high level of interpersonal skills. He should be able to romance across party lines. He should know what the time is. He should be very proactive. He must be an academic superior. Several reasons. All of this make up, or will make up a very good leader who is going to steer the ship of Edo, because that is what we are discussing in perspective. But above all, is a visionary leader, somebody with vision and an ability to implement such a vision. In the past 7.5 years, I'm opportunity today is about 2 months, 10 days in office, and from afar, I didn't know that a lot has been done until I came close. Because I think that the greatest problem of this past 7.5 years is the ability of the government or the government of Edo State to actually put forward what they have done. I think that's the greatest problem. They have done so much. As an engineer, of course, I understand what it entails to get a result. You start from critical thinking, then you bring it out like a design. Then after creating such a design, you can call it construction, or at the end of the day, we want to see all of those efforts being seen in a whole, like a result. And it will interest you to know that if you begin to reel out the achievement of this administration that is about winding down, you may not be able to exhaust it. But beyond that, if whether we like it or not, collectively we must agree as a people that today, the Edo we have today is one that is full of law and order 100%. Because without law and order, nothing can thrive in such a state. If you have not been able to appreciate any of, or your appraiser is even below 50%, if you know Edo, you should be able to say, oh, the law and order in Edo today, after 7.5 years, has improved our economic prosperity. As it stands today, you know what you call point of sale collection, POS collection. Edo is ranked number 2 or number 3 as against number 19 in the entire country. What that suggests is the enabling environment to do business. Edo has greatly transformed over the last 7.5 years. You know what I mean by POS collection? That is the number of transactions that happen per second in the entire country. Edo is ranked number 2 or number 3 by some popular. So that tells you a story. So who becomes the next governor of Edo State is very important for several reasons. But because today I am on the side of PDP, I may try to talk very balanced. So permit me, I may not be able to, so that it doesn't appear that I'm not doing justice to topic of today. But one thing we must bear in mind is, of course, we are in the FCT and more than 85% of us are very educated, we are elites, we know what is expected. You have traveled the length and breadth of this world, and you know what is obtainable, what good governance entails. So it's not difficult to sit down with you and have a conversation. It is not about your political affiliation. It's about looking at the very basic ingredients that drive leadership. The social measurable tool you can judge a man are his antecedents, what that man has been doing before, what that man is doing currently. And when you look at all those parameters, you can say, okay, if you aggregate them, we can entrust our governance to such a man in the future. So this, I think we should center this discussion on antecedents, because that's the only social tool. A man is not a piece of cloth that you can measure with a tape. You do not know what is in my mind, but if I am 37 years old today, you should be able to look at my achievements between age 1 to age 37, and you look at the trajectory and you'll be able to deduce and get an average if such a man can lead his or her people. Though it's a sophisticated state, it is the heartbeat of the nation. We didn't name it, it was named consciously. So that implies that whoever who is going to take the mantle of leadership of Edo must have these qualities I just read out, and even more. So on behalf of the government of Edo State, I've been asked to represent the governor of the state, His Excellency, Mr. Godwin Ogegase Obaseki. As you deliberate further, I wish you a peaceful and more revealing deliberation that at the end of the day, you will know who you think is best to take Edo forward. Thank you.
Please jam your hand for him. The cultural troop, are you sleeping? Are we still together? He said integrity is when you are doing something and nobody is looking at you. That is called integrity. That democracy is not a process, according to his own definition, it's an activity. Am I correct? Yes. So I can see that it's a square peg in a round hole. And when the house of a child is clean, he can eat with the elders. Your Excellency, I say maximum respect, sir.
You are welcome.
Yeah. Without further ado, I think we are moving fast. The next in line.
Item number 8.
Item number 8. Thank you very much, my company. Is the moderator, Dr. Tunde Lakoju. That is the wise man of Naisi. Yeah, Dr. Tunde Lakoju. The die is cast. It is your moment. You take charge now. May God bless you and may God guide you as you move on. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Our very distinguished Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, representing our very amiable Executive Governor, I want to welcome you formally to this occasion. The Chairman of the BOT, our able and wonderful Director General of Edo House, who has been very instrumental in putting us together. I want to sincerely welcome you and thank you for the opportunity you have given to all of us. I will not waste too much time. We'll go straight into the action. Now, why are we here? We are here to think and to talk about the leadership recruitment process in Nigeria. I want to look at the Edo imperative. Now, if you hear all the talks about Nigeria all over the world, wherever you go, they tell you that Nigeria is a place that is so heavily gifted by God. We have overabundance of natural resources. We have wonderful gifting of human resources. And God has also blessed us with the best ecological conditions that you can find anywhere in the world. What that means is that Nigeria has no reason on earth to be a poor country, to be talked about the way we are being talked about today in the world. Now, the question you will ask yourself is, a country that is so gifted with natural resources, with human resources, with beautiful ecological conditions, and all of that, what is the matter? Everybody tells you it is leadership, leadership, and leadership. Now, the reason we are here today is to take a critical look at what this leadership is all about, and the process of recruiting leaders in Nigeria over time. Have we gotten it right? Have we not gotten it right? If yes, fine. If no, why? So the first thing we want to do, this occasion is not a political debate between contestants. No. We must get that clear. If it was a political debate, we will not accept any representation from any of the candidates. They would have been here themselves to present themselves. But we had actually thought that they would be here because it would have been an opportunity for those citizens in NIC to see who are the people who are angling to rule us. We see them, we listen to them, we assess them, but we know that the debates, the campaigns have taken off. And a number of them are consolidating their campaign structures and moving around the state. So we can understand why probably they are not here. But be that as it may, we are hoping that we are not going to turn this occasion into a war zone. What we want to hear are our understanding of what this leadership is all about. Why is it that in Nigeria we have not been able to get this leadership right? What are the indices of good leadership? And what are the issues, across the globe when we talk about leadership? Right? I don't want to give you an exam question and give you the marking scheme at the same time. It is not right. Otherwise, at the end, when we are summarizing, we will give you an idea of what we understand by the imperatives of Edo as far as leadership considerations are concerned. Now, we have people here representing our candidates, at least the frontline candidates. We have Dr. Tony Ikpasaja, who is representing Monday Opuebolo. Please, can you just stand so we can see you? A hand of applause for him. We have, is there anybody representing Saibovo Akpata? Is there anybody here? We're still expecting them. Okay. So we have for Dr. Aswa, we have Ambassador ESV Ambassador Tony Okenigene, who is here live. We will hear from them. And we have an Edo, a very proud Edo son, who left Edo State many, many years back, and who has made a name not only for himself, but for Edo as a whole. NIC decided to bring him here as a guest speaker. A man who started, is a lawyer, a very senior lawyer at the bar in Nigeria. But more importantly, somebody who has such a passion for education. In Abuja here, he established a nursery, a primary, a secondary school. And as I talk to you, he's the proud owner of a very, very ambitious new university in the Federal Capital Territory called Philomath University. He's in person of Dr. Barrister Collins IM1, who is here. He will also give us a perspective on the subject. But before we get to him, let us hear from the representatives of our candidates. I begin with the APC candidate, Senator Monday Okpebolo, and the able representative is Dr. Tony Ipasaja. So please, you will step into the rostrum and let us hear your perspective on leadership recruitment in Nigeria and the imperative for Edo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the kind permission of the chairman and the governor, the deputy governor representing the governor, I want to stand on the existing protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another good day for us, and there is no better time to discuss issues like this. This is the better time. Election in Edo State is just a few weeks away from today. The topic, if I don't want to indict any situation, but I also want to tell you the communication between the organizers and my principal was not too effective, and that was why, if I tell you, just today now I'm receiving a lot of the details, what we are supposed to do here and what we are not supposed to do. We try to focus on the leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, Edo State imperative. This was what Senator Monday Okpebolo, the APC candidate, specifically focused on, and he dwelled on a lot of things. And like you know him very well, he's not a man of too many words. He's somebody that believes in hit the ground running, and that is the basis upon which he gave me his thoughts that I should postulate here. They are all embedded here. So I will begin by first of all saying the leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, like you all know, but Edo is not exclusive of Nigeria. We are all together. We all know the situation we are in. It's not too palatable. We know it. A situation where you have, we don't have internal democracies, toggeries, problem with security officials too, and even the followership. Those were his areas. The followership. They could be bought over, they could be taken over. A new lexicon that arose in our polity is vote buying. These are some of the impediments of leadership recruitment process in Nigeria. They have not been very effective. But to hit the ball rolling, I will now delve into that, leading inclusively and building relationships. However you look at these two, one is a sub-topic to the other. They can interchange themselves. Leading inclusively and building relationships. For specifically at the era we are now, we are looking at the subnational, the governorship as leader. How to build that inclusiveness in governance. So many variables are on this line when we talk of building this inclusivity. What are those things that you are looking at? For Okpebolo, he believes to build a very robust inclusivity is all about practical governance. There's no two ways about it. The led, the people, and the leader. There shouldn't be a mediary, an obstructive, meddlesome,
obstacles, impediments, and all that. You were one of us before. Like what some social scientists would call them. You are just one among us. We now said, okay, like what is available in the social contract theory, we all surrendered our rights before you. We now told you, please help us to guide us so that it is not every day when this man offends me, I will go and seek redress. Or this one does something, somebody robs me, I will go and attack. We are not giving you our rights. You now rule us, guide us, lead us, help us. We are not giving you any advantage to oppress us, to pilfer the resources of the state, to damage the political trajectory of a nation or of a group of people. No. We are just telling you one among equals. First among equals, that's the language. But what we have today, we all know it, Nigeria is not new to all of us. We have seen and we have heard, even as we are speaking now in various parts of the country, there are states where some of this lack of inclusivity is causing rebellious reactions from the people. It's so sad. And again, we talk of a state like Edo State, which is highly homogeneous, but within that homogeneity, there's what we call diversity. Different cultural levels, religious beliefs, a lot of other things that have divided us innately. But as a leader, it is now your responsibility to be everything, to be everybody. But have we had that kind of scenario since 1999? The answer is there for us to understand by ourselves. They will also promote the external impact. As a leader, however you are, governor, president, whatever, promoting external impact in our situation in Edo State may also involve carrying people like the diasporans along. And we know how important they are to our economy. In 2023, they said the diasporans alone remitted $20 billion to Nigeria. That's a very big one. I wonder outside the oil sector, what other sector of the economy produces this kind of revenue for the nation? Then we also talk of issues of training too. If you want to train everybody, you want to train your people, as a leader, you train everybody the same way, the same module of training. There's no segmentation. You don't want to have special people and not special people. We don't want to see you as a leader. You say these are the poor people, or like what we have seen these days, that palliatives is associated with the poor people. Palliatives. And what are these palliatives? Indomie. Is it supposed to be? But back at the other side, behind us, the palliatives for these people, we have buildings. Building a house for a governor every 3 years, buying 4 jeeps for a governor, a former governor every 3 years. Those things, they don't help inclusivity that we are talking about. I will thank the organizers of this event. Inclusivity is one of the real pressure, a very big problem in our polity. Then, very significantly, is institutional transformation. That is at the back of, I remember when we were discussing this with my principal, Senator Mondo Okpebolo, he emphasized on this institutional transformation. What are the institutions? The institutions of democracy, institutions of governance. I'm just quickly trying to summarize. What I'm summarizing now, there are a lot of the institutions like police. There are institutions, security agencies that are police. But we have seen a situation whereby when you are entering government house, even the CSO who is supposed to be unbiased, or the ADC will be saying, are you for our governor or you are not for our governor? Are you with us or you are not with us? It will select people to see the governor, and they select those based on their informed decisions. The governor doesn't like this, the governor likes this. Those things will not help leadership recruitment processes in Nigeria in any way, and particularly in Edo State. Another very big issue, another very big element of this inclusivity is trust. We discovered that a lot of our governors don't even trust the people, but like the public service they work with. I will tell you that even in my state, Edo State, I will surely speak for the public servants. They are not duly involved in everything that is being done. Not now, it's been like that for quite a long time. How many of these contract awards that are being given out were actually worked on by the public servants? No.
You find out the governor comes with his team. They sideline the public service. And the public servants are not totally carried along. They are not part of the whole thing. The public servants are supposed to be included. The inclusivity we are talking about in governance, you are supposed to carry the public servants along. And that is why, for us, we are recommending reformation of the public service. If the public service rule was active, the police, the security will have lesser work to do. If you misbehave, the rules of engagement is there. If the public service is active, you will have a policeman that will take us, the social media, he will take the social media for Nigerians to know, this man has actually done some infractions that, and he does not deserve to be there. No, the trust have to be there. We also talk of decision making. This decision making, there are various stages, there are various types. I know very well in some situations where you have the state executive council, federal executive councils. Sometimes at the state level, the governor starts and ends it. Anything he says is final. Nobody brings in anything. Then, I think the last one that we'll have here is effective service delivery. For us to have that effective service delivery is what I just mentioned now, when I stated the issue of reformation of the public service. Though we have had series of reformation of public service. The first public service reform was in 1929, I remember very well. And the last one has been, the last major, very effective one was the 1999 by Olusegun Obasanjo. We have had some other ones, the Orosaye and other ones, but that of Olusegun Obasanjo was was signposted the 4th republic that we are in now. So, they just told me how many minutes, 5 minutes left. Okay, so in all of these, gentlemen here, we will want to really appeal to the political parties, to the people, like I mentioned before, the security agencies, the INEC, the press. Fortunately, I'm in part of that press team. You have seen the situation whereby an event that never heard at all, it will be reported in the pages of the newspaper. How, when, where? There's what they call now, I'm sorry my gentlemen, I will be very frank to tell you this, they'll say we syndicate it. I don't want to dwell too much on that. And we spoke about Togri. When we talk about leadership recruitment, sometimes nowadays you find out that we even have some thugs as members of the National Assembly and State Assembly. How did they get there? Who recruited them into the leadership process? It's the same cycle. Because in today's world, the governors have been so elevated to almost near heavens. They will bring a thug, somebody who was begging in the street, shooting gun, fighting, carrying arms, snatching boxes, depriving people of their franchise. You now find that such persons are in the National Assembly as your honorable members. How honorable are they? So for us, 2024 is a game changer in Edo State. For us, Monday Pueblo, I'm not here to campaign, but we are with you people on these your topics. Leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, Edo State imperative. We, as APC, we will do what we need to do to include everybody, every part, every member of Edo State in the administration of governance in the state. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moderator, please permit me to quickly recognize in our midst here Prince Dr. J.O.K. Martins, Mr. Matthew Dennis Otabe, and Mr. Genesis Ophili. Thank you, you are welcome. And of course, let me recognize SAC Patrick Allegeno. Sir, you are most welcome. You are well recognized, sir. You can take it off, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Our Deputy Governor and our DG Edo House. We want to thank you for patiently listening to the very incisive comments being made by our guest speakers. We have just heard from Dr. Tony Ikpasaja, who represents Senator Monday Okwebolo. I think I was clear when I said that we are really not here for a political debate. If it is going to be a debate, we would have held it in Benin City so that the Edo people will have the benefit of looking at all of you. This is a symposium, and what we want really is a proper definition of the kind of leadership that Nigeria needs as opposed to what we have now. But the issue now is, what do we have now? And what are we aiming to have? Those are the critical issues, so that whoever is auditioning for a leadership position in whatever political party, you know what the imperatives are that the Edo people are expecting. On this note, let me invite ESM Ambassador Tony Okonigene, representing Dr. Aswai Ighodalo. Please stand. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, I beg to adopt the already established protocols. First of all, on behalf of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Barrister Aswai Ighodalo, he has asked me to convey his sincere apologies for not coming here himself. He wants you to know that there's nothing he would have loved better. There is nothing he enjoys better than to interact and to look at what the leadership of this country, and apparently that of Edo State, will entail. So he has asked me to convey his sincere apologies for not being here. It's not a way. Mr. President wants you to know that it's not a way of him saying that he's looking down on this body. He said that he has the body, he holds the body in very, very high esteem. So please, his apologies, sir. And secondly, I'm also here to share his thoughts concerning the theme of this symposium, Leadership Recruitment Process in Nigeria, Edo State Imperative. And the topic he's also looking at, nurturing change readiness in the Nigerian political system. Pastor Aswai Ighodalo wants everyone to know that in definition of leadership in this country, in the context of, especially the political context we are taking leadership, that we are getting it wrong. For him, you cannot elect me, recruit me to come and be your governor, to be your senator, to be whatever, I will now become your leader. He feels that that is upside down. We need to understand, when we start talking of leadership, who a leader is supposed to be. He looks at a leader in the perspective of that man who has been brought in to serve. Why is it that if I want to employ a driver, if I want to employ a cook, if I want to employ a manager for that my company that I hold so dear, I will go through a rigorous recruitment process. I will need to interview, I will need to look at the CVs, I will need to interrogate a lot of things about that person who I want to hand over these things to. But when we are going to recruit a governor, or recruit a senator, or recruit somebody that will take charge of our common words, we are not bothered about interrogations. We think this process should be reversed. And that is his critical thinking about this whole thing. That when we are going to recruit our leaders, because we call it election, in the true parlance is recruitment. If you hold it like that to say that, look, this governor you are going to vote for,
you are going to recruit him to come and serve you, I think we will have a different perspective. We should not be looking at going to vote for that person as going to do a favor for that person. I mean, the person is doing a favor for you. In fact, we are trying to keep the person to be in charge of our Commonwealth, so there is a need for us to interrogate that process. What are the processes we have in the country now? You will have a situation whereby political parties have been put in charge to give you whosoever they want. And we have also a situation whereby most of our people, you will stand up and tell us that you are not interested in politics. So whether we like it or not, the politicians, the political parties, will determine who governs and who takes charge of our Commonwealth. So it is good that we also take part in that recruitment process. And the recruitment process starts from the primary where these people are taken. Because by the time they get to the ballot box, you have limited choices. Whosoever the politicians, the political parties bring for you, you must choose among those people. So let us not start our process from the day of the election. Let us go back and ensure that we start these processes right from the time the parties are going to sit down to start considering the aspirants, when they were aspirants. Because if you are there to now start considering the aspirants, then you'll be able to interrogate them within your political party. You will ensure that your political parties bring about the best. Not that the political parties, some few people will just go and sit down in the room because somebody is close to powers or somebody knows it and that. They will now bring up anybody and say that they should go and choose. Of course, the electorates at that point, we have no choice. So we should interrogate these recruitment processes that we have by getting involved politically. It is very, very crucial for us to do that. And if we also look at nurturing change, readiness, to nurture change, you see, change is something that comes about with resistance, whether you like it or not. When people come with new innovations, when people come with changes, there is that resistance. This is how we have been doing it before. If you go to your political party now, if you go and register as a member of a political party, as a businessman, as an intellectual, as somebody that knows what you want about your leader, what you want that person who you want to send or recruit, there are qualities you want in that person. You will always encounter resistance within the people that have held the system down. People, they will resist you. No, we have a caucus. The caucus are to sit down and come and tell you who the candidate should be. Then you just follow. That is the system that have been there. But who have now come to say, no, I want to look at the competence of this aspirant. I want to look at his capacity. I want to look at his credibility. I want to look at whatever this man has brought to the table. So, but there are resistance to change. And also, we also have to also interrogate change. Because change has its own positive and negative aspects. In 2015, we heard of change. And after the change, after we keyed into that change, by today, the story is different. So we should also interrogate that change. Don't just jump into change and say that I've come to change it. What changes are you bringing to the leadership table? First of all, we said that the recruitment starting from the primaries of the party, we must interrogate that process. We should get involved. The only way you can do that is to get involved. Don't sit on the fence. Don't say you are not a politician. You stand up and saying that I'm not a politician, so because that, but you are going to, that person that is brought forward is the one that is going to be deciding the policies and whatever is going to affect you. So we should interrogate that. We should also interrogate our electoral processes. We should also try to educate our people. Try and educate our people to see that, look, this is what Nigeria needs. This is where we should be. How can a country with so much, how can a country with so much resources, how can we be wallowing in poverty? The only reason is bad leadership. We are not getting the leadership process right. We don't need a soothsayer to say that the process of recruiting our leaders, in fact, we need to do something about that. So when you are looking at a state like Edo State, a state that has, in fact, is in the 10th percentile of this nation. Edo State it's not like any other state in the country that you think that you can just come with any packaging and people will just buy it. They interrogate. It's a state that has critical-minded people. So when we look at who will lead us in Edo, so if we want to say that who will lead us in Edo, we need to interrogate whosoever wants to lead us. I want a situation whereby if my governor is called upon to come and address a gathering of medical doctors, a gathering of engineers, a gathering of whosoever, any gathering, I will raise my head high and sit down in the front seat and say I'm from Edo State, and I'll be proud that my governor will do justice to the topic. I want a situation whereby we have a governor that is prepared, a governor that knows what to do and how to do it, and to use the people that will do it. I want a situation whereby to use a governor that believes in his citizens, that we can deliver. I want us to look at a governor that has this basis. So recruiting leadership processes in Nigeria, like relying on political parties alone to just dump candidates on us, and we'll now go to the field and start choosing, is something that I believe each one of us should take interest in. And the Edo imperative is now, we are heading for an election. Please, I want us to sit down. Let us look at the candidates that we have, the candidates of the major political parties. We should not look at partisan politics. I'm not being partisan here. Let us leave partisanship aside, like the moderator has said, and let us think of the good of Edo State. Let us think of the greater good of our children, the future of our children. And it lies in the quality and content of the leader we choose. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands properly together. Okay, I want to quickly introduce the repertoires for today's papers. We have Prince Dr. G.O.K. Martins. Let's put your hands together for him. We also have Mr. Matthew Dennis Otabe. I guess they're here. And then lastly we have Mr. Genesis Ofiri or Ogiri. Ofiri. It's okay. Thank you very much. I want to profoundly appreciate the Director General of Edo House. There was a salient point he made when he was presenting his papers. We need to know what is the significance of why we're here. And he has basically said that we must take interest because of the impact after the process of selecting a leader. We must take interest in the processes, procedures, and also look at some of the issues, germane issues. We're having His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo, taking his leave. Okay, oh, sorry about that. I was not properly informed. Quickly, let us welcome and recognize the person of Professor Festus Emotinya. I understand that. Commissioner representing Edo State in Federal Character Commission. Please put your hands together for him. At this point, we will hand over to Dr. Tunde Lakojo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, our Masters of Ceremonies. We listen to the representative of Dr. Aswe Igodalo, Ambassador Tony Okonigene. I think we are beginning to come to beginning to appreciate exactly what this topic we are treating today is all about. Like we said, and we are grateful that the two speakers so far have not turned it to a political campaign for their candidates. we are looking at a broader perspective, the perspective of leadership recruitment. We want to understand it first and foremost. Now, when we get to the field, they are already entering the field. We will be able to have a template with which we assess what we are seeing. I think that is the essence of this gathering. So I want to thank the two of them who have spoken so far. And I want to ask, is there any governorship candidate of any other political party who is present here? Or representative? Is there anyone? Because I spoke to a few of them and they told me they will be here today. I don't know if any is here because we want to give, you know, a playing field that is free and fair. If there is no other one, may we now invite our brother, our son, Dr. Barrister Collins Ayamwa, our guest speaker, to address us. Thank you.
Kindly permit me to stand on the already established protocol. The already established protocol. You know, as far as I'm concerned, this program is very, very key and fundamental. I must have to congratulate the organizers of this program. Like this, I've been introduced. My name is Collins Ayamwa. I'm the chairman of Council, Philoman University, Abuja. I'm also the secretary of the Association of Private Universities Owners in Nigeria. I'm from Edo State. I'm from Isha particularly. Philoman University has a campus in Kuje and in Metama here. It's still true for here. Philoman University is the only university in Nigeria that is owned by Edo son in Abuja. It's the only university in Nigeria belonging to Edo person, Edo son. I'm quite familiar with the issue at stake. I attended, I'm happy Alex Oko, the former commissioner in Edo State, is there. Alex, could you stand up and let people see you? Alex Oko was a commissioner in Edo State. We were together in SPC Asaba, St. Patrick's College Asaba. Myself and Alex, we're also together in Auchi Polytechnic. We're also together in the same room as pioneer students of Bender State University, Ekuma. I was the chief judge of the Student Union Judicial Council in Ekuma. I will tell you why I'm stating all these facts. I know the terrain of Edo State very, very well. I attended a secondary school, Utokbu Grammar School, at Agbo area, where about 200 students who wrote the final school living certificate. I had the only grade 1 recorded in that school. The qualification and standard of that grade 1 has never been beaten by any person till today. I used to travel from going to school at Agbo side behind Agbo. I'll go from Igbanke, you know, to Edo, to Agbo, and to get to Utokbu, and so on and so forth. We used to go to Bende State University from Benin, across Ekboma, and across, you know, that route to Ekboma to Auchi, and then to Urumi, to Biaja, and so on and so forth. Those roads were like the roads in England. Those roads were like the roads in England. But if I'm going home now, I hire 2 trucks of police, jeeps, to escort me on the way. The roads, there's no single road you will pass that is good in Edo State today. These same roads. Look, I have not come here for politics. I have come here, I will discuss this topic. You will see the nitty-gritty of what leadership and governance is. I'm not going to talk about the past leadership. I'll focus on the coming leadership. Focusing on past leadership is a waste of time and energy. What are we expecting from the coming leadership in Edo State? That is the issue. Let me tell you, the process of selecting leadership is more important than leadership. I hold a PhD. My PhD, most of the topics I wrote, I had AAAA in the research work I did. The process, the owners of political democratic power are the people, not the leader. A leader is just a servant who has delegated authority, nominated. When, by 1999 Constitution, is the same thing. Whether or not there's law or no law, in a political system, the people have the ultimate power. In every political system in the world, in America, Europe, in Germany, wherever it is, the ultimate power belongs to the people. In a political system, the people sit on the driver's seat. It's not the governor. I'm not going to be talking about Nigeria. I'm talking about Edo State. Edo State is part of the 4 what they call them now? Regions in Nigeria. Only one state, Delta State, that is carved out of Edo State. In other words, Edo State is supposed to be the most developed state in Nigeria today. I'm not casting aspersion on past leaders. I'm not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm trying to tell you, the driver's seat is in respect of recruiting governor of Edo State for 2024 in September belong to you people. I mean, it's not the governor, it's not the political party. Anytime, anywhere in the world, in England, even the King of England, where the people say, King, we don't need you anymore, they will sack him. Anytime it is in any part in England, in America, where the people say they don't need the president, they will sack him and drive him out. Whether or not there is a constitution. Because they have the ultimate power. The country belongs to you. The country does not belong to governor. And don't say does not belong to any governor. So when they are you want to choose your leader, you are to blame, not the governor. If you choose wrong governor next year, this year, you will suffer for another 8 years, because when he comes to office, he has the resources to fight back. He will recruit people to clamp down on you. What are the antecedents of a governor you choose next year? I will tell you. The governor governor you will choose next year should be a 21st century governor, not villager. A 21st century who has the intellectual prowess, who has the education, who can function in the world, who can attract resources, who can galvanize, who can play in the whole world. The next governor of Edo State should be the best governor in Nigeria. I'm not talking politics here. I have no business with politics. I've never worked in government. I've never had employment with. I'm a private player in the economy of Nigeria. Let me tell you, I established university. Each time, let me tell you, this thing you are just done is the most focal thing that has been done in Nigeria and Edo State. This thing you are doing today, where people will interrogate the people who want to lead. And I want to beg, mobilize other civil society. Let them go around Edo State from month to month, from day to week to week, house to house.
Street to street, person to
Any candidate that has failed to appear in this meeting is incompetent. Look, if you have the competence, you should be proud to come and spread it to people that want to vote for you. Look, if you refuse to appear in a meeting like this, you have despised democracy, you have despised the people, you have despised Nigeria, you have deprived the people of Edo State. Any person that wants to be a governor in Edo State should have go and trace his history, take his history and zoom it. The day he was born, what has he been doing? What business has he achieved? What did he achieve? If I say I want to be a governor, I say I established a university. Go to internet, go to anywhere, you see my records. If you have no record, you have no business contesting and be voted for as a governor of Edo State. Record of what? One, record of financial management. Record of financial management. Not to steal people's money, government money. You put it in your pocket and begin to do panel-beating roads. Roads that will last for 6 months. And the roads will wipe them off. Enough of that. Enough of that. Let Edo people not be. This thing is not a party issue. Every person should be united in your life. Leadership is life. Any person want to lead you is taking your 8th year out of your life and subjecting you to suffering, degradation, exploitation for 8 years. 8 years, so many of us here, I don't pray against you. I pray every person will be well. So many would have died. Hospitals are not working. Schools are not working. Everywhere is not working. You are sitting down here. Take the driver's seat. Tell your neighbor, take the driver's seat. I have finished my lecture.
You started now. Can you stand up, ladies and gentlemen? This man is too much. This man is too much. Check. Dr. Tunde Lagoju, you have not seen anything yet. Where did you bring this man from? Where did you bring this man from? No. Today's our moment. Now so. Eh? That is a man. That is a man. Okay, hold it. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Wait now. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, the man that just spoke a while ago, has just reminded us that sovereign power belongs to us. That we delegated it to the governor and the deputy governor to act on our behalf. Am I correct? The man don't come out. Where's the other man? Okay, man.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst our deputy governor. Respectfully, let us recognize that. Those are known to be very highly educated, socially, intellectually, and we're there. Please, let's be in our best of conduct, please. The deputy governor is still seated in our midst. It's a disrespect if we continue in this manner. At this point, we'll hand over to Dr. Tunde Lakojo. Thank you, sir.
Can we please be seated? Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Our Deputy Governor, we are extremely grateful that you are witnessing this mini revolution by NAIC. Our DG, yeah. Here, at the back here. Okay. You will give us a brief moment to take a photograph here, at the back here, before our Deputy Governor and guest speaker will take their leave.
Please, ESCO will have the privilege to have a photograph with His Excellency. Let's just be patient. Let's not overcrowd the podium. Escorts, please kindly proceed outside so that we can take a group picture with His Excellency, please. The National Executive of NACE, please kindly proceed outside so that we can take a group photograph. Please, only the National Executive of NACE. Every other person that will be there will be asked to leave. Please, thank you.
Jesu palo, agbo me ya ko re pe pe dono. Eche no yo o re fe ole. Ato ipe o re fe ole. Jesu me la lo, alo ni me la ka. Jesu me la lo, kati to la la me. Jesu palo kwiti kame o, o shole lo ya, lo ki ya to na to ya ko. Ki shole lo ya, lo ku ko na be pe. Ki shole lo ya, ki lo ku pe na pe ba ko. Ki shole lo ya, lo ki ta na shang pe pe. Ki shole lo ya, e mo na ko. Ki Jesu ya palo kwiti ke ame, kati shole le meme. Jesu me na lo ni me na ka. Jesu me na lo, kati shole le me. Yoni me no kwate mi ageru na gboro te mo po. Oge na no bi oge po me. Eri Jesu palo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The event has not closed. The exit, we've done that. The event has not closed. The exit of the deputy governor was somehow not expected, though. But we want to accord him that respect for having stayed for the 3 papers. Today you will agree with me that we have set some moral high ground here. We guess the next electoral processes will naturally just eliminate crash personified individuals. Will also eliminate people who are disconnected from the grassroots, various communities. Also will checkmate clueless government and dysfunctional practices. It will institutionalize operational frameworks that will be a deliverable for democratic ideals, benefits, and it will align the need of the people clearly so that we can be able to focus more appropriately. A no honor government, a no integrity government, everything goes kind of government, and disrespect to our collective sensibilities, such issues will be eradicated. Please, ushers, listen to me, kindly ask every other person out there to come inside. I understand some of them are being interviewed by the press, but we can do better. We can quickly close in on that, and then so that we can go into our discussion proper. Because every other person who has made deliveries today, they need to feel our pulse. They need to get feedbacks from us. Am I communicating here? They need to get feedbacks from us. They need to get it by way of questions. Then also presentations of our various communal issues, challenges, hydra problems that needs government attention so that we can clearly be on the same page. Am I talking? Am I speaking? Am I communicating? And so those are some of the things. The ethos of our group, this group association, is to see that we are able to collectively come together and promote peace, unity, good governance, fellowship amongst ourselves, brotherly and neighborly relationship enhanced in the spirit of fraternal relationship, so that we can be the best of the people, and then also be able to discuss issue-based discussions, so that we can narrow these things to the nitty-gritty, the very things that matters to us. I'm sure as we'll speak, quite a lot of us are dealing with issues of poor policies of this of government, and some of these issues that are contrasting. Our collective responsibility here this morning is to see how we can focus, chant a way that will speak to our very needs, so that the next phase of on the 19th or 21st of September, we're back home to also, because all these I don't spot with the feelings of people, but whatever it is that are taking place here, we also understand that our fathers and our mothers, those who are the actual voters, are back there in the village. And so we'll have to go with these good news messages, not feeling tones now. Good news, messages of our responsibility, electoral participations, electoral educations, and so that we can practicalize this, so that the next phase of government can be the people's government. Am I communicating here? Am I communicating? At this point, we're supposed to have musical interlude while the refreshment will be served. Ushers, please. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Musical interludes. Please, you have any of those songs? Let's have it. And then ushers, please begin to serve the refreshment. Let's take our seats. Quickly, let's take our seats. Not ended. In fact, from all that has taken place here. Okay. I've just been instructed that I should invite to the high table the Federal Commissioner representing Edo State in Federal Character Commission, and the person of me, Professor Festus Imotinya. Please, sir, indulge us the privilege to have you on the high table. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Please put your hands together for him. Okay. Also to the high table is the National Secretary of NACI and the person of Barrister Osayande. Please, sir, can we have you on the high table? this end, you will agree with me, but 3 guest speakers who had made their deliveries. In fact, if you ask me, we've had 6 guest speakers today who has made deliveries. It began with the national president of the AC, who delved into very strong issues. And then our own beloved great son of Osa, the ambassador cum, the director general of Edo House, in the person of Deacon Festus Osage, who is also my brother, one of my paternal uncle. Also, for me, his speech was provocating. It's such that can instigate a process that is imbuing and imbibing of very good processes. And then we had our deputy governor. In fact, I had to commend him for those deep, strong oratorial, verbal comprehension, laying the foundations of a good democracies and building the process for the discussions. And then we have the first speaker, who was Dr. Ikpasaja, Anthony Ikpasaja. He's been in the media, he's a media guru, he's a politician, he's been a grassroots person. He's an epitome of wisdom. You saw the discourse as it went, and then we had another doctor representing the PDP gubernatorial candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, it was life-changing for me, a process that has given us a standpoint for us to negotiate the recruitment processes of the next government life of our state. I believe that our state is dear to our heart, and every one of us wants to see it better. Wants to see that the institutions are well coordinated, structures that are well institutionalized, and policies that drive the processes for us, and conclusively the impact that we can make our assessment as to roads, skills, employment generations, businesses sustainability, and the well-being of the people, as it were, in a civilized environment. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will leave the stage and allow Dr. Tunde Mlakoju, our father, to progress from here. Thank you very much, sir. It's been engaging. Am I communicating here? Has it been very engaging? Has it been robust? Now we want to go into strong interactions where your questions or comments will be welcome. Thank you. God bless you. Music, please.
Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate all of us for our patience and for the level of intense participation that we exhibited. If nothing, it is clear that Edo State boasts of some of the best brains in this country. And as you can see from what we have been given so far, I think we are having a dose of what actually we are looking for. Now, let me just give you a very brief, extremely brief summary of what we have listened to. Just to remind you, because we are going to call on you, if you have any intervention, any comments or any questions you want to ask. Incidentally, some of the presenters are gone, but all the same, I believe that those who are left can deal with the questions you might have. Now, when Dr. Tony Ikpasaja spoke, he talked about the issue of internal democracy in the process of our leadership recruitment has been a critical angle. He also mentioned the need to have a sensitive followership. Above all, he insists that building inclusivity is one of the most critical pillars of leadership recruitment. And he talked about the diasporans and the role they play, because any adult person will tell you the role that the diasporans play, our men and women who are out. They have not forgotten home, and they have helped so much to sustain the families. Now, he talked about the need to reform the public sector service, and he talked about the need to really check authoritarianism in governorship. And he talked about public service reforms, which are needed. And he also mentioned briefly the role of INEC and the press. And he talked about, incidentally, the role that thugs play in the recruitment of our leaders. And I think it's something that we need to really take very critical note of. Because, as it were, we seem to hand over our future to thugs to decide the direction we go, especially during campaigns and during elections. It is important that we look at all of this in the whole dynamics of building or recruiting our leaders that will rule us. Now, Ambassador Tony Okenigene, representing Aswe Gudalo, told us very clearly that a leader is invariably a servant, and that any leader who does not see himself as a servant should think twice about the so-called leadership role he wants to play. He talked about the contradiction that when we want to recruit people into our private companies, or even our own house help, we are very rigorous in examining the quality of the candidates we are recruiting. We take them through all kinds of rigorous processes of interviews before we recruit them, which is one reason why we have a stable private sector and why our homes are not riotic, because we are careful in recruiting those who work for us. But when it comes to the issue of recruiting our leaders, we become extremely careless. As a matter of fact, most cases from the history we have so far, we take our time to recruit the worst to rule over the best, which is a very terrible pity. And he advised that this is an area we must look at very critically, and we cannot agree with him less. And now he talked about the role that political parties play, the need to interrogate these parties, especially how they also recruit their candidates. Because apparently we are helpless when it comes to election, because we are called upon to vote for whoever the political parties have thrown out for us. Whether they are good or bad, we are now choosing between the worst and the worstest, if there is anything like that. And so that has been our history. That is not to say that Edo State has not been blessed with good leaders. We are just saying that in the majority, now what we have seen, because when we are talking about leaders, we are not talking only of governors. We are talking about governors, we are talking about senators, we are talking about House of Reps, we are talking about House of Assembly, we are talking about the chairman of local government councils, we are talking about councillors. These are the people who ultimately take control of our lives. So when we are recruiting them, we must be able to interrogate the caliber and the quality of people that the political parties are throwing at us. Unfortunately, citizens have not been able to build a consensus on how to check this recruitment process by our political parties. Now, he talked about the resistance that is faced by those who are in control of our destinies, we call or whatever. Now, the need to be able to also look at the content of that resistance and how to break it in the process of recruiting our leaders. And he says, in the process of recruiting leaders, no one should sit on the fence. And we must all be very active participants in the process. It's not enough to just go and stand and vote. As somebody who has also run several elections, I can tell you this. You may convince people, talk to them, they take your money and everything, and they go and queue up on the day of election. Right on that queue, somebody else comes and slips something into their hands. And unfortunately, what you are expecting will happen does not happen. So those are the kind of experiences we have lived with. Edo happens to be, according to him, a very sophisticated entity, and that we must be very careful how we interrogate the process of packaging candidates, because at times candidates are so packaged that you are deliberately not allowed to even know who these candidates are, and you go blind into the polling booth to vote. So that is the position, a summary of what I gathered from what Tony, Ambassador Okonegine, told us. My brother, Barrister Collins, I don't need to summarize what he said, because we all participated actively in his interactive process. He is not a politician, apparently, and he is talking from the point of view of a concerned citizen of Edo. He has traveled far and wide, and he has seen what leadership is in various other climes. And he thinks that we in Edo State should be able to also copy what is happening. And so we must be able to, he said, what are the expectations of leadership? And he also highlighted the fact that a leader is invariably a servant with a delegated authority. And that as far as he is concerned, we the people must go onto the driver's seat in our political enterprise. And until we do that, we have no right to complain. And it is because of our own docility in participating actively and taking control of the instrument of selection that we get what we get. And the question he asked is, what do we expect from the very next governor that we will elect in Edo State? So, and the prayer of all of us is that we should be able to get the best, and God will give us the very best in Jesus' name. Now, that is a brief summary of what I heard the presenters say. I may not have done enough justice to them, but I think, you know, as far as my own human memory goes, this is the little I garner. Now, before I call for participation, because this is the next thing we will call for, is to say my own little experience in this terrain. If I was not playing the role of a moderator, I would have opted to be also a presenter, because I have seen a lot. In 1998, I coordinated the presidential campaign of Dr. Bode Olajumoke. And we did a fantastic job. But when we entered the Ahmed Bello Stadium in Kaduna for the primaries, as we entered, before we even were able to get through the gates, the primaries that we came for and we mobilized people for, the people we mobilized were coming behind us, but the results were already announced in the stadium. So we all had to go back quietly and accepted what it was. What that means is that in this country, we do not seem to understand what it takes and who is really controlling the lever of power. Now, in 1998, the late Sami Radia, I'm sure many of us know him, he came to me and asked me to run with him in UNCP as his deputy. He was going to be the governorship candidate. I had never met him in my life. He had never met me in his life. He was told about me, and he came, and we talked. And I agreed. Now, the leaders who were going to screen us, they gave him forms to fill, and he was asked to put 3 names of people he wants as deputy. Number 1, number 2, number 3. So that they can screen him and those people together. Number 1, he put Tunde Lakoju. Number 2, he put Tunde Lakoju. Number 3, he put Tunde Lakoju. And they insisted that, okay, if you're so desperate about Tunde Lakoju, put him as number 1 and 2. Put another person, and they gave him a name. And Sami Radia refused. And for that reason, we were dismissed at the screening point, because they had already made up their mind who they wanted. And all they wanted was he can feature as number 3 or number anything. And once they saw it, they would take his name, and that would be it. Now, in 2003, Senator Owe came and decided that I will run with him as his deputy in AMPP later. I accepted, and we ran a very wonderful campaign. Eventually, the votes were allocated and they were announced, and we were asked to go to the tribunal if we wanted. Now, I'm building this for you to see that the process of recruiting leaders is a very complex one. Now, that's how we lost that bit. I ran for the House of Reps. I won, and I was there for 4 years. I ran for the Senate. I was not even allowed to go past the primaries. Now, Professor Ihionvere, and I thought he was going to be here today because he's one of the people we invited. He wanted to run, he ran as governor of Edo State. And I was the director general of his campaign. Now, something critical. I learned something extremely critical about elections in Edo State. They were leaders. A night before the primaries, they named their prize. And the prize was packaged. And we handed it over. Not one, not two, not three. On the day of the primary, we went into the stadium. I mean, to the stadium of, I think, Garrick or whatever place we had the primaries. Do you know that these leaders that I personally handed these packages to the night before, we greeted them in the stadium, and they refused to answer. And they completely pretended that they had never seen us before. Now, what happened that day? The delegates had filled their forms from somewhere and noted where they were going to, they were going to, where they were going to vote. They put the names of the people right from the house, and they just came straight, lined up in the stadium, and they were going to drop it. So all the effort we had made, you know, coordinating and doing all that was just a stupid waste of time. Now, I'm putting this together to let you know that the process is controlled. The process has been badly hijacked. And if we are serious, we must interrogate the role of godfathers in the leadership recruitment process in this country, Edo State especially. If we do not overcome that problem, we are wasting our time. And as it was yesterday, so it is today. And our prayer is that it should not be so tomorrow in Jesus' name. Yeah, so now I just thought I should put that as my own little contribution. Now, are there any questions for the presenters or for the presentations that have been made? If anybody wants to make any contribution, please indicate, and they will give you the microphone. And yeah, so please quickly run the microphone so that we can take the...
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Apostle Dr. Prosper Romoseli. I'm from Ewu, to be precise, Idule Ewu, in Esa Central of Edo State. I want to make a comment or pass a comment at the same time, just ask a question. I will start by a question, and anybody is open to any of the no speakers to be able to respond to them. The question one I want to ask is, where did Ambrose Ali, in his blessed memory, the resources with which he transformed the then state? Where did they come from? That is number one. The reason why I asked that question is because I was very young then. I remember we sang a national anthem now. The last I remember I sang that national anthem, I was in primary 3. That was what I remember. And if we can answer that, it will align with what the honorable professor said before he left. Because I remember growing up, I've traveled all the length and breadth of now Edo State, then Bende State. From Ewu to Auchi, I remember I did excursion to somewhere in Aginegbo there, I think Coca-Cola farm, I can't remember, Leventis farm. All those roads, though tiny, not wide, were very okay and good. I remember passing through, those of you that know it very well, there is another route you can take through Egware down to Udua, you bust her somewhere in Ekpoma. Then I remember where my daddy came from, Sabogida Ora area, Otwo. All these roads, all these towns, cities were connected. Growing up, number 2 question, what happened to the security of Edo State? Growing up, I remember on 1 or 2 occasions as a young man trying to survive, then you had the Bende Feed and Flour Mill. Of course, you know that now is not a private owned company. Now, as a young man, I used to follow trucks. We go to Ilushi to go and get PKC and all the rest. Those roads were good. Security was okay. Okay, my time is up. Okay. The question is this. The second question is this. What happened to the infrastructures that were handed over to the governor or governments that have existed in Edo State? Then my comment is this. Where is really the future of Edo State? God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Please, we have to be quite brief in yeah. Just
very briefly. Stand on the existing protocol. Good afternoon, sirs. My name is Rav Imokwede. Precisely, I'm from Uwahatan in Onwa East Local Government. How are you, sir? Sir, it's just a follow-up on the question. About 2 weeks ago, we paid a ransom. Yeah, in that's our road from Auchi down to Afuze. Fulanis is something else. So I'm putting it to you, sir, the current sitting party in Edo State. What is happening in Edo State? I'm part of it because I contributed and I know what we went through. It was not easy. What is security in that area particularly and in Edo State as a whole? Thank you.
Please, I think we should control what is going on. The topic is leadership recruitment in Nigeria. Edo State imperative. We're not here to start interrogating what the governor is doing and what he's not doing and what A is doing, who is not. The governor is not here to answer the questions. So, and there's nobody here who will answer that question for him. Now, we want people who will contribute to deepening the topic of today, the topic of leadership recruitment. That's what we want to hear, not about what is happening in the roads and the water and all of that.
Yeah. My name is Sunday Uhimamoji Owu. I'm here to reiterate that NIC is non-political body. Those state ADG whatever is not political something. So also in our community meetings they say we are not political something. And these politicians, are they spirits? They are not spirits. They are within us. The God, whoever will be governor is from us. Therefore, my own advice is this. Among those who are coming on board, whether by right choosing, because the person you choose may not be my own choice. I will recruit A, you will recruit B. Whatever means anyone is there, to me, I think it's the will of God. Therefore, let us give them advice that when they are there, forget whoever brought you there as far as Edo State is concerned, do justice for us to receive the dividends of democracy. Look at River State today. It's a big example in Nigeria. Whatever they are going through, they are enjoying the democracy, the benefit of democracy. Let it be in Edo State. Forget about who vote for you. Forget about who doesn't vote for you. Take everybody along. We have really suffered, especially my own locality, Otuo. They come to us, they say, vote me. There will be light. We voted them. Till today, the light we have in our community is from what we cough out of our pockets.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now,
thank you very much, my Otto
yeah,
brother.
one there and then come to this row, and we have two there, and then we'll take the answers.
My leaders up there at the high table, I'm Ben Ogbemudia. I'm from Oriomo. I just want to say one or two things according to the two leading political parties that are here. My brother ambassadors said something about starting this selection process right from the beginning before the political party can throw any candidate at us. The same thing my brother was saying, talking about total inclusiveness. I believe the two of them, you are on the same page. But I want to ask, now that we are in this situation right now, we have the different candidates already. I want to throw the question, what do you think your candidate can do differently? Both of you, the question is for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Both of you.
Sorry, we cannot take that question because we had said it from the beginning that this is not a political debate.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Supreme Comrade Bello Osareti M. Mikado Drizo. I'm an alchemist, valuta of the source. It will also interest you to know that I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a leader, and of course, I'm a nursing father. Today is my birthday. My dear Dr. Tunde Lakoju, I quite understand the specifics of the symposium, leadership recruitment, Edo imperatives. I want us to deal with the nexus. What are these imperatives that we are going to look into as we try to recruit leaders? It's very, very important, my dear doctor. So that what happened in 1945 will not repeat itself. I know that this discourse is apolitical, so we should restrict our discussion to the topic of the day, so that we will not kill an animal without a name. Thank you for this great opportunity.
Thank you. Drizo.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is, like the speaker said, the standard of recruitment. I think everybody here has a standard that we would have followed. But how many of us is giving the leaders in that primaries? Because if every party wants to do primaries, they will pick within the party and you will not be known. And on that same day, they will handpick the same people that will be at the podium who will pick the person that will come as the primary candidate. So how can we be inclusiveness? How can we have our input in picking these leaders? I want to ask another second question. Can we change the mode that will pick these leaders? Maybe by constitutional or by any means, so that we can have that inclusiveness that everybody is clamoring for. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, sir, my name is Otuagua Amadi Nemosko. I'm from Eastern Southeast, Edo State. Mr. Chairman, sir, I want to pick from the postulation of the two speakers. And for my concern, I wonder why this thing is coming, this symposium is coming when election is so close. It could have had more weight if it had come before the political parties had their primaries, because we are placing emphasis on the fundamentals of administering a state. But however, the topic too is very broad because it's not narrowed down. What we are discussing, right, what we have on the scene is leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, Edo State. But what we are discussing right now is political recruitment. That's what we are discussing. And the fundamentals of political recruitment is obviously very difficult issues to explain. But however, like you have rightly said, you passed through your own experience. Just a minute, please. You passed through your own experiences. What we are saying is that the state must be able to talk about policies and the institutions that drive leadership. Leaders come and go. Policies will navigate development. Institutions will administer the same development. And we should be talking much more about the kind of policies that arise from our institutions and how the institutions implement them. I so submit. Thank you.
My brother, thank you.
Thank you, sir. 2 minutes.
Hello? All right. Thank you very much. Please, my name is Akigbe Dominic Musa. I'm actually from Irua. After him, please come this way. Yes, sir. I want to thank the other man and my friend here. They've actually taken the word out of my mouth. But however, I will just add one or two. When we were told to come here, I came in all the way from Lagos. I thought I would have the opportunity to see the 3 candidates, but they have their representatives here. The question has always been that the ordinary people hardly have access to interrogate these candidates. It is done by process. We were told this symposium is about leadership recruitment. We know the process of leadership recruitment starts from the primaries. We are also aware that during the primaries we have either the direct or the indirect. And in most cases, these parties, they adopt the indirect primaries, which emasculate the ordinary people. So my question to the 3 persons here, or the 2 of them who are representing the candidates, if any of your candidates become the governor of Edo State, what are those steps that will be taken to address the requirement for the recruitment of leadership, so that at the end of the day, the ordinary people will have a direct stake at that level of primaries? Thank you, sir.
The requirements.
Are there any ladies who say something? Any ladies?
Chairman, sir, all other protocol observed. So me particularly, I'm very happy for this program. Thank you for organizing it. My question is about the recruitment. We need a leader that listens, a leader that is a servant. We also need a leader that will motivate the educational sector and the agricultural sector. Because from the education, if you go to the classes, you know, just as it is now, we are having problem everywhere. You can go to the class to get some ideas from the teachers or the lecturers. So they should be motivated. Then the agricultural sector, at least we have a good land in Edo State. Agriculture should be given a good priority, so that at least you empower people to go to the farm. You don't have to depend on the certificate, at least mechanized farming. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mechanized farming.
Chair, my name is Ehon Anthony. I'm from Ekpoma. Thank you so much for this opportunity, sir. First question, sir. You have the deputy governor. I will know who the deputy governors are in Nigeria. What we are doing today is like bringing the policeman to speak about corruption. You brought those in leadership to speak about leadership recruitment. I think that is absolutely tragedy. Two, sir, as a well-respected organization in Abuja, we also behave like other civil society who are criticizing. They don't have a blueprint answer to the problem. Can this, respectively, sir, can this organization sit down, articulate policy for government direction? It's not to ask questions, it's to provide solution. Can we sit down and say, government, in the next 8 years, this is our own solution to the Nigerians are so good in criticizing, and that is what this organization is also doing. We have this organization in Abuja. What has been our blueprint for any governor to present to him? Thank you so much, sir.
Our blueprint. Our blue.
Come down this way. The last two.
Mr. Chairman, sir. My name is Honorable Clement Zigbomi. I think it will be very, very unfair to these organizers of this occasion if we take the actual message while we are here. I just had my phone now, and I want us to look at what the meaning of symposium is. If you Google that, you will know it's about a meeting where we discuss particular issues that relate to have on ground. That's symposium. But quite surprisingly, I think what every speaker have said, rather criticizing, asking questions that are not, you are not contributing. We are supposed to be discussing. And what is the discussion here? Recruitment process to our leadership. What are these recruitment process? The man who came for the PDP man said, when we want to recruit, for example, our drivers, usually we ask for their driver's license and we ask for their cognitive experience. For example, we say 5 years experience or 10 years experience. You want to do banking job, the same thing. Like the man representing the APC man, the man who introduced him as a media professional and a guru at that matter. So it means if you are going to employ him to be the MD of a newspaper, you are going to be looking at that. I think that is the process we are talking about today. What kind of leader are we looking at in the coming election to recruit in Edo State? And not questions about security. It is that leader that we are going to recruit that we will now be tasked to address the issues that we are discussing today. Thank you.
Security.
Let's give the Lord a big, big hand. Let's give the Lord a big, big hand. Praise the Lord. When we started this program, we didn't pray. I was just watching, say, what is the meaning of this? You know, in the Bible, God was the king of the Israelites. He was a king. And the Israelites thought that they needed a king like other nations. And God told Samuel, hearken to their voice. Just go to the Jesse house. There's somebody I've anointed to be king over Israel. And Samuel went there. He looked at the site of the first son, the second son, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. God said no. God is looking at the heart. The fear of God is not there. Carnality has taken place. No, to be carnal-minded is death. But the spiritual minded is life. The carnal man cannot please God. Neither does he have the ability to do so. It cannot happen. It's not a magic. May God help us.
Amen. Prayers. Thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless you.
We are through now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kennedy Isuku. I'm presiding from Ihebe in Onwa East. You see, I think like one of the speakers said, this symposium we are having now should have heard earlier than this. We are talking of a process. Now we are at the final concluding end. The process is now for us to go to the poll and vote. My contribution to this symposium is this. Let us advise our leader to be God-fearing and be respectful. Because if they are not God-fearing, there is no how we can choose people that can lead us. First is that they must be God-fearing. Number two, they should learn to ensure that there is justice. Because the problem we have all over this our country, and particularly in Edo State, is injustice. We should imbibe the principle of justice. Justice and fear of God is the only thing that can help us in this scenario. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We don't have all the time in the world. Actually, we had thought that we will not go more than 30 minutes for all of the questions and answers. Now, but because you are the drivers of the process, there's nothing we can do. Now, you have all heard the questions. Who are those who are willing to answer? Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, please, to just, okay, okay, I thought you said.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
DG, Mr. Chairman, I just want to make just some responses to some, and also to attempt to clarify some questions. A question that...
Sorry, please. I have recognized somebody to start off the answers. Okay. When he finishes, I will call you. Sorry.
Thank you very much. You see, let me just say this. Though we're not meant to respond to some, but just for a better clearance. You know, in governance, you must understand the workings of government and understand what you need to do in the recruitment process. And when you look at what happened during the time of, what my brother said, during the time of Ali, there was a different governance process. That was the time we had the time of the Midwest region. And we have a different arrangement in governance. But what we are having now is quite different. So at that time, Nigeria have not gotten to the point of oil dependence. So we now depend on oil. So because of oil, a lot of us have gone too lazy to not venture into other mix of revenues. But I think at that time, there's why we have a granite pyramid. We have cashew, we have cocoa. But now we have all dumped all of that. And that have led to a lot of food insecurity of what we are having now in the country. So it's a quite different environment now. So you are talking about a security. The issue is that, is governor actually a chief security of a state? The answer is no. But the constitution says, oh, the governor is the chief security of the state. I think the problem we are having is the 1999 constitution. A constitution provides and says a governor is the chief security of the state. But why there is also a clause that said that the CP will take a directive from the IGP. And the IGP is loyal to the central government. So you see a situation that a governor will have to go and talk to an IG in Abuja to be able to talk to the CP in the state. So the governor cannot give a directive to a commissioner of police in the state. So how do you expect a governor to not govern that state? A governor will call a commissioner of police and say, oh, I have an intelligent report that the herdsmen are coming to attack a village around Owan East. And the governor will say, oh, CP. And the CP will tell you, I've sent the report to the IG. And the IG is going to send a tactical team. So when it happened, our people in Otua will now say, oh, the governor has failed us. So how will the governor and the state and the way we operate the system, the governor have no power to arm anybody. So these are completely exclusive lists to the federal government, to the federal agency. So these are the issues. So that is why a lot of people are now agitating for state policing. Agitating for state policing. So when you have a state police, knowing your neighbors,
knowing who, at least somebody from my own community. Oh, and I know, say this one is a police, or you're having a stranger, like what is happening in the developed world. You see a man policing your environment. Every street have a police officer, well equipped. And that man know everyone that lives around there. So when there's a new visitor there, the policeman will be asking, when did you get into this environment? Which house are you? Or who are you looking for? But here, everybody just trooping into the entire space. So I think these are challenges. These are some of the challenges we are having. You see, looking about the issue of what our father here raised, and talking about associations, don't be apolitical, don't get involved in politics and all that. I said that is just just to guide the process, because of the sensibility of everyone. Some belong to ABGA, some belong to APP, some belong to PDP, some belong to process, to be able to gather the house. So if you now make it political, what you'll be seeing, there are some platforms, what you'll be seeing on the platform, if it is possible for them to start throwing chairs, you see them throwing chairs. You understand me? So the best thing is just for us to be able to guide that process and say, oh, this is not a political, but let's focus on development. Let's focus on the process while we are here, how to develop and grow as people. I think that is on that. When you're talking about, we are still going back to the same federal system of government. Is it helping us? Is this federal system of government helping us? The total revenue accrued to the federation. The federal is in possession of 57% of that. Over 57% of that. While the state is in possession of just about 23%. Local government have less than about 15%. And now, you now have federal road cut across. But a lot of us don't know the difference between federal roads and state roads. Most of these roads, I'm speaking for Edo State, because I represent Edo people in Abuja. Most of those roads you are pointing at in Edo, they are federal roads. So go and check and say, just mention one road, and I will tell you it's a federal road. It is not a state road. But this is a situation of what happened. There are situations that the governor have said, oh, give me a promising note. Let me go and fix the road. And the federal government said, no, step out of my roads. We will do the road by ourselves. And at the end, the citizens, they are all suffering because of that road. And at the end of the day, because some of us cannot define the difference between a federal road, a state road, and even a local government road, you say, oh, the governor is not doing well in roads. But the inter-roads and the connecting local government inter-roads, those are the state roads. So most of these major roads connecting from state to the other state, connecting from one major, from Lagos, from Lokoja, from Delta State to Ondo, any of those roads that is connected, are all federal roads. So for us as a state, I know Edo State government have done so well in the issue of state roads. But there's something we must also understand. This road, were they existing and the current governor came and used bulldogs to remove them? No. Governance is a continuous something. The previous government have done their own. And the current government coming, we also do his own. And so forth and so on. We would have said, oh, those who have like 2000 democracy, they wouldn't have been governors. They wouldn't have been doing election again. But they are still governors there. Because government is something you have to continue. So if the current governor have done his own, another one will come and it will continue. So I think these points are very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, are there any people? Now I wanted those two of them to answer last so that they can summarize what we are talking. Is there anybody here? Okay. So, yeah, of course.
Good afternoon, everybody. I also have the permission of the chairman to stand on existing protocols. I agree with those who said that we should focus entirely on what we're invited to come and do. This is a symposium. And so, for me, I want to say that the process of recruiting political leaders, because that's precisely what we are discussing here. It's already well known. The Nigerian Constitution does not respect or recognize independent candidates. So, ab initio, if you want to participate in the process at the level of putting up candidates, you have to take up party membership. And many of us don't believe so much. They say they don't have time. Please, party membership is also very important. Then, the second responsibility is that of voting. The party has monopoly over putting up candidates. But as voters, you can then decide among those that have been turned up that you think fits your expectation of the person that should lead you. I don't agree that the leader is a servant. The idea is that we, the people, we have chosen somebody that is going to lead me to lead. He is the person that will be on the driver's seat. No matter whether we're the ones that put him there, he is the one that is driving. He is the one that will determine when to change gear. He is the one that will hold the brakes. So if you don't get a competent driver, everybody, we are all going to end up where, God forbid, inside the dish. So my own contribution is that the date for Edo election is already fixed. Those who know that they have registered to vote, on that day, come out and vote. Go out and vote for the person of your choice. But if you stay back and then you allow others to vote and then take a decision, you are already going to be, part of that decision. Whatever the outcome, you will be affected. So for me, we are operating a liberal democracy. There is nothing we can do about that for now, which makes voting a critical aspect of citizens' responsibility. Of course, there is no compulsory voting in Nigeria, but we all know that we have a duty, a civic duty to go and vote, and even a personal responsibility to go and determine who is going to represent you at whatever level. Thank you.
Yeah, we can have you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Like I said, I just want to make some quick remarks. Somebody said the qualities that we should look at in our leaders, the leadership we should crave, is issue of being God-fearing. He brought up that the leader should be God-fearing. When talk of justice, that these are the things the leaders should, that the first quality we should look at. So I will also want to ask that person, because you need to take Edo State or the state as your private company. If you want to recruit a driver, what is, the quality you are going to look at in that driver? If you have God-fearing, driver's license, or competence, which one are you going to look at? Are you not going to say that, if your driver is God-fearing, just recruit him? I don't think that will be the best for us. In recruiting the leadership we want, now, we all respect and agree that we are all God, the children of God, and obviously that should be with us. But it should not be our first priority of a leader being God-fearing. A leader should be competent, a leader should have the capacity, a leader should have the credibility. I think that is my point on that. Then someone also said that whether we can change the process. No. Honorable Commissioner has already said that the date has been fixed. Edo election is here. We already have the candidates. So to start thinking of how to recruit our coming leaders, because we are now looking at the Edo imperative. So Edo election is coming. The candidates are already there. So what we need now is to interrogate these candidates. We still have time. We still have the opportunity to look at these candidates critically. using the 3 C's of credibility, capacity, and competence. Then somebody also asked whether what can a sitting governor do to change the process in this recruitment process when it comes to primaries and all those things. I think we should try and separate governance from party. Party is different from the governance. A governor has no influence as to how the party runs its primaries. The primaries are guided by the constitution of the country, by the constitution of the party, and the guidelines the party releases. So a sitting governor will be expecting too much to start thinking that a governor, when he comes in, can come and say, okay, now in Edo State we'll be using indirect, or in Edo State there will be no primaries, or changing the process. The process starts with you participating right from primaries. And you can participate by, first of all, registering as a member of a political party. Whether a civil servant, thank God the Constitution allows you to register to participate in politics. It does not forbid you. So that's where you start, and that's where you start having your say within your units and within your ward, within the local government, and you start moving. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, your colleague is gone. Ask a question.
Can I ask a question? Ladies and gentlemen, I know we have spent quality time here. I just want to ask a question, because the primary objective of this symposium is that we want to look at the leadership recruitment process. What we have presently in Nigeria, which is also an extension of Edo State, those criteria for throwing up our leaders, for recruiting our leaders, are they all right? Do we need to review them? Are there some areas we need to address? That is the essence of this seminar. Leadership, like the last speaker said, you don't want to recruit a driver without ensuring that it is competent, because you are going to entrust your life to him to do that driving. Our leaders today, whether at governorship level, presidential level, governorship level, even commissioners, ministers, they are all leaders. Councillors, they are all leaders. What is the criteria for getting them to those positions? Do those criteria require reformation? Because if we can reform the leadership recruitment process, that is when our yearning desire to have a developed country with systems that work, that is when we can attain them. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Whatever has a beginning definitely has an end. If your questions have not been answered, don't worry. Our next symposium will answer your questions. So we want to invite our chairman, Board of Trustee, Elder John Okonedo, to give a vote of thanks so that we can begin to move.
Thank you very much. The program says I'm to give a closing remark. I will attempt to give a closing remark before the vote of thanks. In my closing remark, I want to draw everybody's attention to the course known as political science in the university. If you read it, even without being a political science student, it's one of the greatest courses. You like to become a politician. But the textbook politics is different from the one you see on the field. I keenly listened to the moderator when he gave his life experience. You will prepare yourself to serve in the best capacity. With the 3 C's he talked about, you have all the credentials. You have all the wherewithal. But come to the field, there are some other persons who have better interests than all those things you have. Are we going to say in shopping for a political person, the issue of godfatherism should be excluded? Then what about money bags? What about the poverty rates? The real truth is the poverty rate. Somebody who has not eaten since yesterday, a politician comes to him and says, go and line up, you get 10,000. He won't get that even from an uncle. He sells the conscience. So, the getting to shop for a person to lead you, for God's sake, we always thank God that he has given us somebody. You can't have a right over it. It's difficult. That does not mean we won't try. We'll keep trying until we get it or get it right. We'll keep trying until we get it right. That's the truth. Protocols were established. I wouldn't like to deviate from it. So I would like to thank in that protocol order, especially the deputy governor of my state. He was here to represent his principal. He stayed and he did so well to honor our invitation. I also like to thank the DG Edo House. Thanking the DG Edo House is something that is too small to say. So I don't know in what form gratitude will really come to you. The assistance you give financially, spiritually, physically, and otherwise. In pidgin English, we say, you too much. I say na lie. I say na biggie lie, oh. Man, no go big, go make it big like Feston. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Then, I would like to greet all members of the Board of Trustees, all ESCO members, all the representative of the speakers, all affiliates, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen of the press, I cannot thank you less. I thank you, everybody. Like Dr. Lakoju said, we'll meet again in another symposium. Thank you, and thank you so much.
Closing prayer.
Please. Just last minute. Just the last one. Everybody, please. Just the last one. While we thank you, we want to quickly pray. Somebody's challenged us, and we are a prayerful people. I thank you all, and I will pray as an ordained minister. I'm an elder in Church of God Mission by the grace of God. So I'm qualified to lead this prayer. Almighty Father, we thank you. We give you glory, we give you praise. We exalt your name for your kindness, for your goodness, even when you loved us, O God, first. Therefore, you know our shortcomings. You know that we did not even call upon you. But even you said you loved us first. You have stirred this event to give it the success that we could not even imagine. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you. We return all the glory to you. We thank you for the speakers. We thank you for as many has traveled to this place, O God. We commit them into your hands as they return to their respective places. Our Lord and our God, we will dwell in your safety. We will dwell in your safety. We will dwell under your presence with tabernacle with us. Edo State, we will not get it wrong this time around. This labor of love, it shall yield its increase unto Edo State, unto Nigeria, in the name of Jesus. We will continue to be ahead of others. This event, it is the first of its kind in Nigeria. You made it possible. Other states will copy from us by your grace. It shall be the Charter House program in Abuja. A reference point you will make it to be because you loved us. Thank you, Father, for in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.
Amen. Our old deacon, thank you very much. And we wish you all of you journey mercy to your various places. Thank you and God bless you.
Keep